Hey YouTubers, in the last video we finally managed to blink an LED on our development board, our black pill board, and I think I managed to make a relatively short video about that. I also managed to set my desktop up here so I can actually show the board while it's running. I can disable that and I can switch it back on. So that should help us in the development of this. The video I made last time, I used delay function to wait for 500 milliseconds between toggling the LED. Now, if we look at right-click, open declaration, if we look at the source code of the HAL delay function, you will see that it ends up in a while loop where it just keeps reading HAL getTick. We can also look at HAL getTick, what that does. HAL getTick simply returns a global variable called UW tick, and open declaration there, and wait for it to have increased with the number of milliseconds. The UW tick will increase every 1 milliseconds by default in HAL. So it will give us the result that we're looking for. Unfortunately, while this HAL delay is executing, nothing else can be done in the microprocessor, contrary to a Unix system, or we only have one process running here. So we need to not waste any time, and this is basically a bad way of wasting CPU cycles. So let's see if we can make this a little bit more elegant and create a new project. So let's create a new STM32 project. We've been through this a number of times before. Here, as usual, we select our STM32F411CE, and it is that one. Next, and let's call this project Black Pill Blink 2. Finish. Here we go. So, as usual, we will set our debug interface to serial wire, which is the standard 2-wire ST-Link. We will select our external crystal. We will go over to the clock and ask it to actually use that crystal to run at 100 megahertz. Done. And we will select our GPIO, our LED port here, to GPIO output. We will call that LED. Okay, I have seen this problem before. Let's generate the code. Occasionally, this STM32 Cube IDE get into a state where it won't let us edit anything. Oh, it's back. So we call that LED. And that's basically it. We have selected the debug interface. We have configured the clock to use external clock running at 100 gigahertz. And we have selected this port. We need to set this to default high and open drain. It doesn't matter. We could select this in push-pull. It's not going to make any difference in this particular case whatsoever. So let's generate the code. And let's look at our function here. it's not doing anything at the moment. So instead of using the hell delay, I will set a couple of variable. I'll have one called now, which basically copies the UW tick. We'll start that at 0, and then we'll say last blink 0. So we have two variables now, and in our while loop, we will say now equals hell get tick, which is the function that will return that UV tick. If we look at this one, open declaration, here, it just returns UV tick. So in reality, what we could do, we could also say now equals UV tick. That would work as well, or we could just refer to UV tick without actually copying it. But let's use the variable name. So every time it loops, every time UV tick increases, which it will do every 1 millisecond, so now the variable now will be updated every 1 millisecond. It will increase and it will get higher and higher. So we can basically go down here and compare it to the last time we talked the LED. So if now minus last blink is more than or equal 500, then we want to do our hell GPIO toggle, and we will toggle our LED port, and we will toggle the LED pin in that port. We have to remember here to set our last blink equals 0, and also equals now, obviously. So this one will do pretty much exactly the same as our last project, with one difference, and that is this loop keeps executing. And I'll show you in a second why that is clever. Oh wait, here. So let's run this code. And again, this is a new project, so it will come up and ask us. It always does that the first time, but we can just select OK, and boom, it has flashed. And we can go over here and we can show that now it is flashing again. Let's, for fun, try to make it flash a little bit quicker, like we did the last time. We can just select this. Now it will be executed every 100 milliseconds, and you can see it stops flashing. Oh, that's hard to see in the video, but it is flashing 10 times a second. Well, 5 times a second must be. It toggles 10 times a second. Well, let's go back to 500. Now, if any of you actually bothered to watch the long video that I did, you would see that I was actually printing out some debug information on the serial port. And if I want to implement that again, let's do that in this, and it will help me to show you why it is a good thing. So I go back to my STM32 world wiki, where I have the serial debugging code. I never can remember that. I have it there actually. Serial debugging there. Let's remove that. This code essentially sends everything printf out on the UART. So we can put that up here. We override the write function in the library, but we need to enable the UART, and we do that in STM32 CubeMX. We go to the UART and we say I want to run asynchronous, and like the last time, I want to use 921.600. That is the fastest that will work on Linux and STM32. So I generate the code, and we can now go over to the main. We can now, after we initialize the UART, we can do a printf link 2, we called it, starting. And then down here, we can do a debug statement in here, printf toggling GPIO. Let's try to run that. No. Let's start our, and then we run. Blink 2 starting, and every time it toggles the GPIO. Now the reason why we want this while loop to continue executing is, what if we had something else we wanted to do, but maybe not at the same frequency? So we could have another variable called last tick, which we set to 0, and then we can say here, if now minus last tick. We might want to print something every second. We printf tick and we set last tick equals now. So now we have a block that is executed every 500 milliseconds, and we have a block that is executed every 1000 milliseconds. Let's try to execute that. Before we do, I don't like warnings, so we have printf undeclared. That is because up here we should include stdio h. I should remove the warning we had down there before. So let's try to execute that. So you can see, as expected, the toggling GPIO is executed double the speed of the tick. So every time the tick is printed, there will be 2 of the others printed. So in my opinion, this is a much more elegant way of dealing with this, rather than having to use the delay function, because it opens up a lot of options of us doing other things while this is essentially almost running in the background. It is not really. So this pretty much concludes the second Blink video, which does what I wanted to do. In the next video, we will start showing how we can debug this application. But for now, I will conclude this video by doing what I usually do, which is I add everything I have to JIT. And I just noticed I spelled it wrong, but that doesn't matter. And we push that to GitHub. So whenever you're doing this, I will not recommend you use my GitHub and just fork. I would recommend that you do it yourself, but if you run into trouble, I do have the repository in public GitHub, so you can basically go in here and see everything I have done. It is available for you on GitHub/LB Thompson, and that is pretty much it. So goodbye for now. That concludes the second Blink video.